AI is rapidly transforming how brands connect with audiences, not just changing what brands do, but how marketers work. From predictive storytelling to personalised fan experiences, Cognizant and Aston Martin F1 are redefining what effective marketing looks like. In this next conversation, we will explore how we can engineer AI for impact to deliver creative precision at speed and at scale. Well, welcome, Taya. Welcome, Rob. I'm going to start with you, Rob, if I may, first of all. I want to find out how your team at AMF1 is creating more engaging, data-driven customer experiences that differentiate you from your competition.
Well, like most things in Formula One, it starts with insight. And in marketing, we're not talking about the insight around the car. We're talking about insight around people. And in order to really understand people, we've got to get past that surface level data of clicks and really start to understand the behavior of people. So yes, what are they clicking on in terms of what content they're consuming, but what merchandise are they browsing on the store? What's the race weekend experience look like? When you really understand the human behavior and then you apply the power of AI, it becomes a huge accelerant to help us deliver more content, experiences, bespoke merchandise drops that are absolutely tailored to that individual. At that point, it's a huge advantage for us as a marketing team, and it's an advantage for the fan to have more personalized, tailored fan experience. And ultimately, that gives us the competitive edge versus the rest of the grid.
So from Cognizant's point of view, how does Cognizant envisage AI will impact marketing as a whole?
So we're seeing AI move us from campaign-based marketing to context-based marketing. So really similar to what you were talking about in terms of the ability to personalize, to target, to segment in ways that we couldn't before and move from that insight, starting with better insight, and then move from that better insight to impact faster. So we're also seeing, if you think about it, consumer adoption of AI has outpaced enterprise adoption. So as marketers, we have a smarter, more informed consumer that we're working with. So what does that mean? That means we need to make sure that we're meeting them where they are. And our research shows that by 2030, 55% of purchases are going to be driven by AI-friendly consumers. So for marketers, that's a shift we have to be ready for and start making now.
Is this helping you create bespoke engagement? This is helping you identify exactly what is going to engage that individual in that moment?
Well, right from day one of this team, we said, look, let's listen to our fans. Let's really get a good understanding of our fans. And let's start with the recognition that there's 850 million Formula One fans in the world, but they're all different. They're all individual. They have individual preferences. And we win by finding ways to connect with them that are tailored and based on their individual preferences. So whether you're talking about content or experiences, that's really about what an individual is seeking and us finding new creative ways to deliver that. But my team is only as big as it is. And when you've got such a huge global F1 fan base across multiple languages, we have to bring in technology, we have to bring in AI to help us on that journey. And so we might be using generative AI to work cross-platform or cross-language, more tailored, bespoke, even individual messages from a driver right down to that individual fan in 35 different languages. At that point, we're far more one-to-one, and each fan feels like they're part of this team, part of this journey.
So Tara, what ways does AI improve efficiency for marketing teams?
Well, let me give you a really practical example. If you look at how you need to localize content for clients or consumers or fans around the world, AI enables us to do that in a way that's relevant to our brand, consistent with our brand, but at a scale and speed we couldn't do before.
Well, talking about personalization, what does that look like in the future?
Well, the age-old love for storytelling hasn't changed. What it is about, though, is the recognition that Formula One transcends technology and lifestyle. There are people that have been in Formula One for a long time, and there are a lot of new fans who are still discovering the sport today, which is amazing. And those new fans may be younger, perhaps more female skewed than historically in Formula One. And their expectations and experiences around it, content, storytelling, collaborations, those are very different experiences across those groups. Now, how do we get to a point of hyper-personalization, both within those segments and very much enabling and offering different content experiences between those segments? That's a huge challenge when you're talking about a global fan base existing across every continent in the world. And that's where we apply AI to help us on that journey. Hyper-personalization, more bespoke individual experience as a fan, because by the way, a bespoke experience is what Aston Martin is all about.
You excited to see where that takes you?
We are absolutely excited about where it takes us, but we set out on day one, as I say, to be fan first and really put the audience and the consumer right at the heart of what we do. And when we believe that ultimately there are technologies and there is insight, data, and there are tools around AI that help us deliver on that promise, that's where ultimately we can see the end result of what we do come to fruition for that end consumer.
So Taya, for senior marketing leaders looking to leverage AI, it can look like a huge daunting prospect. How do you suggest they start that journey?
If you think about AI as just something that can add speed, relevance, or insight to any part of your customer journey, that's a good start. But you don't have to do the whole journey at once. Start small, pilot, experiment, try things, but pick a part of the customer journey that you know can benefit from AI and try it out and see what happens.
I would also say that, like any journey, you don't have to go down this journey alone. And in the true nature of a brilliant partnership, the work that we do with Cognizant and the support we've received from Cognizant to help us on this journey just gives us the confidence to go out and play, as Taya describes it. And that level of expertise has been a huge accelerant and turbocharger for us to help us on our AI journey.
So you want the right message to the right person. You want to measure the effectiveness of scale. How is Cognizant leveraging that?
So marketing has always been about the right message at the right time. But AI enables us to do that in a way that we couldn't before. The thing that's important for marketers to consider now is that your consumers are finding you not just through a search bar, but through agents. So making sure that the content that you deliver is discoverable, visible, and valuable, both by the AI savvy consumer and AI agents, so that you can make sure that you're delivering that message in a way that's really relevant and personalized and hits with them, right when they're looking for it. And so, we use AI to customize content, to personalize it, to globalize it, to translate it, all in the context of our global brand voice. But as Rob was talking about it really brings us closer to the consumer in a way that we couldn't before.
So you said your team is only as big as it is. So how are you using AI and the tools? How are you equipping your team to be able to use AI effectively?
Well, look, this is Formula One. We exist at the cutting edge of data, insight, technology. So it's only natural that we normalize new innovation and technology and things like AI right from day one. So from the onboarding process through to all of our creative systems and processes, we encourage that application of AI, whether it's about ideating campaigns or the way that we manage our campaigns, throughout the whole end-to-end process. And to a degree, it's about normalizing that behavior. At the same time, we're still very early into our AI journey. So as leaders, I think we have to also encourage that curiosity in AI. Use different tools, try different things, see what works, see what isn't helping us. And when we find things that are working and helping us in the process, share it with your colleagues and let's learn together. Because I think when you share that knowledge, you recognize that we're all on a learning journey with this. In marketing, it has a fantastic application to liberate and allow people to express their creativity. And ultimately, it's a far more efficient way of working, delivers value for the fan, delivers value for our team, for our partners. But we have to recognize that we're on this learning journey just to unlock where does that exact value come from.
Curiosity is a good word, though, isn't it? When it comes to this. Tell me, how is AI enhancing the creative sprints and the cross-regional mentorship? Is it speeding up ideas, bringing cultures? How is it?
Absolutely. I mean, AI is a great thought partner, if you will. And it's something like I encourage our teams to just play a little bit. don't be curious, don't be afraid. It's fun. It can be fun to use AI. And as long as creative people are having fun, they're moving faster, they're ideating faster, they're prototyping faster, we're getting to output faster, and we're seeing what works faster so we can adjust, right? Because we're getting data. So we're building this culture of data fueling creativity and curiosity, and it's not either, it's a yes and. And for creative people, AI isn't a replacement, it's an amplifier. And I don't know if you're seeing that too, but if you can play with it and you can I can do something that I couldn't do before, it can light people up. And from learnings, it also kind of evens the playing field, and it helps break down silos across the organization. So it's a great tool for us.
I loved you using the word fueling there, because you can use it to fuel your creativity and your productivity.
100%. What I want from our creative teams is them to be spending their time creating amazing content and experiences, perhaps not pulling things down on paper, or perhaps not designing work that AI can just help us on that journey. So we have to see it as an accelerant and an amplifier of what we do. But fundamentally, where's the end goal, and who ultimately benefits from this? The fan, 100%. As the end consumer, that's where AI really kicks into gear the Formula One marketing context. We can tell our brand stories, we can tell stories with and behalf of our partners that ultimately help enhance and embellish the fan experience. And I think that Taya made a great point. It's not about replacing anything. It's about how does the fan, the ultimate end consumer, win through the application of this technology, data, and insight. And AI is an amazing tool to help us on that journey.
I want to add on something that you said, because I think what AI enables us to do is move from reactive messaging to predictive storytelling, which as marketers is a super exciting thing to think about.
What advice would you give to marketing leaders how they can leverage AI? Because it's a case of working with it and letting it take you on your journey, as opposed to trying to fight against anything, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I think what we talked about earlier in terms of don't be afraid, play with it a little bit. Start small if you haven't used it yet, and just try it. The best marketers are going to be those who don't use every tool, but who know how to ask the right questions and remain curious. And so I would also encourage people to make sure that you're approaching it in a way that you can build and maintain trust with your audiences. So thinking about ethics, accessibility, governance. On my team, we have an AI council that is encouraging, daily use, because I want our team to be AI practitioners, right? And I want them to use it daily, so that, just like you said, it's a daily part of life. It's a companion that helps you accelerate.
Trust and curiosity seem to be the two words.
Yeah.
And also recognizing where the limitations of it are today. So trust and curiosity, but also question it. And there's a two-way exchange that goes with AI. So question it, and ultimately that AI will learn and develop as you learn together. And that's where it really becomes that companion we're talking about.
Great. Thank you very much for the conversation. Look forward to seeing where it goes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cognizant and Aston Martin Aramco are at the forefront of a seismic shift in marketing through the use of AI. From localization at scale to real-time responsive campaigns, the future of marketing is hyper-personal and creatively precise.